Yeah, absolutely. I will.
Okay, I might get kicked off though. You go for it. Have fun.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, sorry. I need
you want to disable it instead of enabling it.
No, I'll make you co-host. There you go, mate. Go for it. Have fun.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name's Ryan. I work with Openn, formerly Open Negotiation, but we've sort of renamed ourselves to reflect our diverse sort of range of products that we have now. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now, and I'm just going to share very quickly a couple of slides first of all. Now, these are slides out of our full training deck. I'm going to show you a couple of those slides. The idea being to give you a bit of a sense of what Openn can do for you and your businesses, so that you take up the offer to do the full training with us. Now, there's usually a $149 training fee involved in getting certified to use our system. We have reached an agreement with Oxbridge whereby through until the end of the year that those fees are going to be waived. So you've got the opportunity to get certified, add Openn and our methods to your toolkit at no cost. And even beyond that, there's some free use of the platform as well. So you've really got nothing to lose by getting certified and potentially even trying the platform on some campaigns at absolutely no expense to yourselves. So slide we're looking at right now, and forgive me, I won't exit out of the sort of PowerPoint format, just because I want to race through this very quickly and show you as much as I can about Openn. But this slide here, people still think of us as a new platform. We have been up and running for quite a few years now, over $3.5 billion worth of real estate now transacted through the platform. This slide is a little bit old, and close to 100,000 registered users in the system, and over 4,000 agents that have done the training to become Openn certified. So our original product was an online auction tool. But we've recently, as of about June, July this year, added an online private treaty tool to our offering, and soon to add an online tendering process to our offering as well. So there are some key differences between the two systems. The primary difference being with the online auction system, all of your participating buyers will sign a contract in advance to make their online bids legally binding. Whereas with our online private treaty system, your buyers come forward, they submit their offer through the platform. You might have 3, 4, 5 buyers come forward and submit their offers, and you will only worry about doing paperwork with your winning buyer only. And so in a lot of campaigns at the moment, agents are getting multiple offers. They're able to eliminate all of that paperwork and only do an O&A with the winner only, or a contract of sale with the winner only, I should say. But in addition to that, with both methods, you get the ability to reveal to your buyers exactly how much the other buyers are prepared to pay. Buyers can see for themselves via the platform what the other buyers are willing to pay. And that creates a situation where they need to compete with one another on price. And that competition can drive some phenomenal prices. Roughly 1 in 10 properties being sold through our system at the moment is achieving $100,000 more than what the seller is ultimately prepared to accept. And so the results of that transparency are phenomenal in terms of the sale prices that you get for your properties. But it's also improving the relationship that you have with your buyers. Now, as opposed to a traditional private treaty situation where you can't reveal to buyers what other buyers are prepared to pay. I've got another offer, but I can't tell you what it is. And it creates this sense of distrust between the buyers. Is this other buyer real? Are they just somebody that the agent's making up, or are they embellishing the truth? With Openn, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, as you can see on the platform, we've got $800,000 on the table from another buyer at the moment. Do you see value anywhere north of $800,000? So it turns that conversation around and really allows you to be completely honest with your buyers. Okay, got a couple of people that have just entered the waiting room, so I'll see if we can. Who's that? Sorry, I'm just going to admit those new arrivals. So that is that's kind of a very quick overview of Openn. But what I'm going to do now, even better, is I'm going to show you a real life. Well, it's in the training environment. You guys can still see my screen? Hello? Anyone there?
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes.
Yes, we can still see your screen.
Yes,
Sorry.
we can see your screen. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Okay, so this screen we're looking at right now. Oh, another attendee. This screen we're looking at right now is the agent's login. So this campaign is underway, and I have got 2 buyers who have submitted offers on the property. We've got a buyer at $605 and another buyer at $612,000. Right. Oh, still there. And as you can see, we're counting down now. Usually this clock will start counting down. People usually set up their campaigns to run for 21 days. But if they have, they can very easily bring that forward if demand requires. If there's early interest, we can bring that finish forward. We can push it back, or we can just click in here and award a winner at any time. The jumping across into my buyers tab, there's a 3rd buyer. I can jump in here and click to invite the buyer, submit all the information about their offer, and send them an invitation to basically click to confirm that is their offer and I can send that invitation via SMS or via email with a click of a button straight outside from within the system. Jumping across into my buyer's view now, right? So this is the agent's view. As you can see, I've got that award winner button there that I can click at any time if I'm happy with the price that I've got, with one of the prices that I've got in the system. But jumping across into the buyer's view, here's the buyer's view. My current offer is $612,000. I can improve my offer with a 2-click process. It's that simple. Okay. The agent now, as you can see, we've got another offer from Randall in our offer timeline. Now, if I go to as far as Randall is concerned, he can see at the moment that he is ranked number 1. He can't see exactly what the offers are. So if there was a nice big gap between Randall's offer and the second best offer, Randall isn't aware of the difference. Even if that offer is $400,000, he can't see it. He just knows that he's ranked number 1. So you're not going to spook your buyers if there is a big gap between your first and second placed offer. But now I'm going to jump back into the agent's view, and I'm going to edit my settings, and I'm going to turn on price transparency, and I'm going to allow my buyers to see which of the other buyers is unconditional and which are conditional, which I can do through editing my campaign settings. So I click save. I'll just return to my negotiation. And now again, I'm going to click back to show you what Randall, my buyer, can see. He can now see, as opposed to seeing his ranking, he can now see that his offer is at $617,000, and Red Paddle, as you can see, is down at $605. So like I said before, now our buyers can transparently see what the other buyers are prepared to pay, and that creates this environment where they need to compete with one another on price. So if we, as you can see, we've got 11 minutes on the clock at the moment. I can bring that time and date forward instead of letting us sit here and wait. I can say 46. Okay, so I've just brought that date forward, and we're going to see what happens when this final offer stage, as we call it, begins. Whilst we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to show you a couple of cool features. If I want to put a share link on my social media or in an email out to a database, I can use that share link to to blast out and make it very easy for buyers to find my property and submit offers through the system. I've also got a generate button option where I can input a button directly onto my company website. I can choose if I want rounded corners. I can choose the color of my button as well. People are obviously using your company website to decide if they want to make, to call you in for an appraisal. So that's it's a very cool way to differentiate your website from others. I've also got an automatic QR code generator that I can use to download a JPEG of my QR code, again, just to make it really effortless for my buyers to submit offers on the property. So that is a couple of the cool little features that we've got just to make it really, really simple for our buyer to submit an offer on the listing. Our minimum offer increment, we control this at all times as the listing agent. Usually people start with about $10,000 to begin with. And then as the campaign, and that means that each buyer needs to be increasing their offer in increments of 10. As the campaign draws to a close, we'll typically reduce that down to a smaller amount. In the same way that an auctioneer would, starts off taking bids at $50,000, and then as that auction progresses, he'll slowly reduce that increment down, and by the end of the auction, he'll be taking bids of as little as $1,000. So our final offer stage is about to begin, which is really the culmination. If you don't use the award winner button throughout your campaign, then the process is going to culminate with this final offer stage, where first of all, I've got a pause button that I can pause if I need to talk to my seller or to any of my buyers. But in this final offer stage, each of my buyers, whenever they improve their offer, I've just jumped back into the buyer's view again. Whenever they improve their offer, ask me to confirm, the clock will reset. Now I've got an additional warning there just because I was already the leading buyer saying, are you sure you want to increase? You're already winning. Every change to my offer will reset the clock to 2 minutes. So we're really giving people aren't just waiting for the very last second and then putting in their best price. Everybody is being given a full opportunity to compete and settle on what their absolute maximum is. And then at the end of the process, the agent will they'll turn to their vendor, and they'll assess the offers that are on the table. And ultimately, they'll be able to either award a winner at the price that was agreed or that was last put in by that particular buyer, or they can continue to negotiate and put in a new price. Then they can send the contract of sale, the digital signing, straight from out of the Openn system, and have everybody sign digitally, and they can check in on that at any stage to see which of out of the buyers and sellers, who are they waiting on for signatures. So this that you're looking at is our online private treaty system. It's not actually the auction system. The two are very similar. However, a couple of subtle differences. They're important differences, but we dive into that in the training itself to explain what the benefits are of the auction system versus the private treaty system, and the pros and cons of each, which you'll come to understand very clearly if and when you decide to come forward and get certified with us. So in a moment, this campaign is obviously going to finish. I'm then going to be given the opportunity to award my winner, which I'll show you, and then I'll throw to questions in just a minute in case anyone has any questions about the system. So just let this clock reach 0. Okay. Just waiting for that audio. I'm not sure if you can hear that on your end, but there's a little bit of audio commentary. So now I've got this award winner option. I'll just show you what the buyer sees right now. Buyer just sees submissions are now closed. me as the agent is are gonna now award my winner. I can select whichever winner I prefer, and then select next, award them the winner, and here's that cool contract automation feature whereby I can click to generate a contract, send that out to my buyer and seller for them to sign with the all digitally without obviously no paperwork involved. So that's the Openn system. Does anyone have any questions about any of that, or is there anyone hesitating as to whether or not they should get certified at absolutely no cost for the month of or for the rest of November and December?
So can I ask this one question? So when
Yes.
you say it's for month of November and December, so that means after that is going to be fees, or what does it mean?
There's usually a fee of $149 to get certified with Openn. That's what other agents are paying as a part of a deal that one of my colleagues has reached with Paul. That's waived for Oxbridge through until the end of this year. So you've got the opportunity. I can put a code. In fact, I think I've got.
So is it like after that we pay monthly fees, or what is
No.
No.
So the fee is $149 to get certified.
Okay.
Once you are certified, Openn, we charge on a per listing basis.
Okay.
So it's Openn offers the private treaty tool because it's still fairly new. It's a few months old now, but we still sort of consider it in a promotional phase. It's actually free until the end of January.
Okay.
So you can use, if you were to get certified now, you'd be able to use Openn offers through until the end of January and not pay for it. The online auction system, our original product, flagship product, is $330 per property to launch and use the system. Beyond January, Openn offers will probably be about the same. It's no subscription fees. It's a per listing pricing model. We are confident enough and have proven over the course of our history so far that when you use the system, you'll get good results. You'll enjoy the benefits of it, and you'll continue to recommend it to your sellers moving forward. That's our pricing model. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
One other question I've got is like about the contracts and everything like that. So do we load it up there, or it gets generated itself? Because we'll need our license and all those kind of things. What about terms and conditions? Like example, 14 days finance, 30 days settlement, or 60 days settlement, all those kind of things.
Yeah, great question. So what I might even do, I'll share my screen with you again. And I'm going to jump into my buyer's view again, and I'm just going to do a search. I'm going to find another property that's this is within our training mode. So let's choose a property like, well, I'm already a bidder on a lot of these because this is our demo account. So I'm going to choose, all right, this property doesn't have a property image, so but I'll choose this one. I can this one's through the online auction system. I click place a bid. I'm going to bid $415,000 and click submit. And then I press OK. The system is now going to ask me for some information about my terms and conditions. For example, is my bid subject to finance? Yes, yes it is. I'm borrowing 80%, etc. And so the system will collect the information about your buyer's terms. You set up your final contract of sale in the system so that this information is then pulled and dropped into the appropriate places within your final contract. So you set up much like DocuSign, you drag and drop where you want your signatures, names, etc. to go. The system collects that data from the buyer and populates that document and sends it. And when you click send contract, sends it away for digital signing.
So do we put our license and all those kind of thing, trading names and all, when we log this listing? Is that what
you've got that information within the Openn system? Against your agency profile, that information is there. So again, the system will pull that information from what you've put into Openn and drop it onto the contract of sale in all the right places. all that information might already be on your contract of sale. If you were to input a PDF copy that already had that information in it, then you're just going to add the buyer's details on top of that PDF.
Cool.
So any other questions from anybody? I'll just finish then on a few of the key ways, because this is obviously a great tool for selling property, and people tend to get that pretty quickly, but it's also a really phenomenal tool for winning more listings. The biggest reason for that is, first of all, what it can do for your appraisal. Sellers understand that transparency can help them get a better price. They know that if you want a property and you see that somebody else's, you might think $600,000 is your best price. When you see that there's another buyer who's prepared to go to 602, you'll reconsider and think about 604, because that other buyer has given you the evidence that in fact you're not overpaying if you increase. And so sellers understand this, and what this can do for your appraisal is phenomenal. So that's one thing, and it's probably one of the biggest things about Openn is how much it can enhance your listing presentation. Point number two is, particularly with our online auction system, you'll actually meet more buyers through the system, and I need to explain. You need to do the full training to understand exactly why that is the case. But obviously more buyers means more listing opportunities. And finally, we've got a really cool observer feature, which allows potential sellers, or allows you to build a nice big list of potential sellers who jump online to pay attention and see what you're up to. That's one of the tools that agents are using very effectively to build their database of people who are selling in 3, 6, 12 months time. Okay, question in the chat there is somebody asking for a code for the free certification. I have just pasted that code into the chat, but we'll also make sure we get an email out to Paul with that code so that he can share it out to the network. You go online, you can choose any of a number of training sessions and online training options that we have, and there'll be a code that will allow you to reduce that $149 down to $0.
So do we all have to go individually and do it, or is it Oxbridge as the general? Okay,
so we've got multiple training. We do training webinars, a little bit like what I've tried to fit in here, but the training session goes for 90 minutes. Obviously a little bit more detail. We go into the finer details. We've also got a self-paced online course that you can do. And you'll be able to do both. In fact, my preference is, if I was learning, would be to do the interactive webinar. But some people prefer to do the course in their own, in their own time. So it's entirely up to you which of the options that you choose. But yeah, every agent trains individually and can become an agent and launch properties within the Openn system only once they've done that 90-minute training.
So, like example, like some of them, Oxbridge, they are affiliates, like they have their own branding with Oxbridge, so they can put their own logo and stuff. Yeah,
you put your logo, your company logo goes into the Openn system, so that buyers can see who the listing agent is, who the listing agency is. So your agency logo, it goes alongside your listing. Likewise for your profile image and all that sort of thing.
If you do the auction, you have to actually have an auctioneer to run it though, don't you?
Correct. So you've got if you use our online auction as a matter of compliance, you do require an auctioneer to be available to sign off the final contract on behalf of the winning buyer and seller. So the auctioneer doesn't need to sign that final contract, but they need to be available to sign the final contract.
Can we use our own auctioneers?
Yeah, absolutely. You can use any auctioneer who's licensed to call an auction on the grass can also manage an Openn campaign.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, I think we sort of kept to within time, did we? Don't know exactly what time I started. I think we've managed to. So Really appreciate your time, everybody. As I said, I'll share that that email with Paul, and he can send it out to everybody. Does Oxbridge, question in the chat there, does Oxbridge have a certified auctioneer? So you need to be certified as an agent to list properties within the system. As far as the auctioneer is concerned, anyone who's authorized to call an auction on the grass can be your auctioneer. So that's basically how that works. And we've got a database of auctioneers that we could share with you right across the country, who could assist you with the auctioneer side of things if you were having trouble finding somebody.
So this is fairly new for us and stuff. Well, how's the support system for agents?
Yeah, great question. So you have a point of contact. You have what we call a campaign strategist. His name is well, depends on. We've got a few of them, but if you're in Queensland, it'll be Jaden, and he's there to be your point of contact for Openn. We've also got an after hours number if you do require help. I know that agents work lots of various hours, so we've got an after hours number as well that is looked after, and so you've got numerous options to an account manager and various other options to support you. We understand that your first couple of campaigns, the platform itself is going to be somewhat unfamiliar, but we also know that you get the first few right, and you're gonna absolutely love this system. And so we're here to support you in those first few. And by the time you've run a couple of campaigns, it's pretty well second nature. It's all very easy, and you're away, and you very rarely will need to reach out to anybody at Openn. But we do have account management here to assist you.
When's next certifying training?
So when can we get certified?
Okay, so that's a good question. If I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, with a shortcut here. So we've got, if I look at our upcoming webinar dates, it looks like we need to update our website, because you're probably not going to be able to make it through to the session on the 25th of November, but we've got one on the 7th of December, and we've got one on the 14th of December as well. So those are the two upcoming webinars. You can also do the self-paced online certification, which you do in your own time. It's approximately 90 minutes, but that's just a sequence of online videos followed by questionnaires as an alternative as well. So
just put the code and we don't have to pay the money. Is this
exactly right? Exactly right. So you'll secure your spot. You'll put in some details, and the following screen will allow you to put in that code and reduce that fee from $149 down to $0.
And from here, we also get free till January to list. Is that what happens?
For one of our online auction, that's our original product. It's well established, $330. For the newer product, Openn Offers, which as I said, we're doing about a 6-month promotional period where it's absolutely free. That's free until the end of January. So yes, you'll certify for free, and then you'll be able to use Openn Offers for free until the end of Jan.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Now, who should are you guys finished, or do you want me to hand somebody else over to be the host, or?
I think so. Finished.
Is Paul still around?
Cool there.
Sarah is there or not?
Not seeing Paul in the list.
Is Sarah there?
Don't think so. We've got Sanjay and SMN as attendees, starting with S. Oh, Sunny Shade. No, don't see a Sarah either. All right. Well, maybe shall I end the meeting then?
Yeah.
So we've got a quick question: who's Openn support in WA? If it doesn't, The bid doesn't meet minimum price, Jonathan. If the bid doesn't meet your seller's reserve price with open negotiation, the auction system, you're not selling. You'll pass in much like you do in a traditional auction. Your seller is always protected by their reserve. There is no reserve price as such with open offers. But yeah, absolutely. If you don't get a price that your seller is happy to take, then you're not committed to selling. The system's very powerful at educating your sellers because of the transparency. When your buyers do stop, they're in such fierce competition with each other. When the buyers do stop increasing, it's very powerful to turn to your seller and say, "Hey, listen, we've achieved market value for your property." So yeah, that's I think that answers that question from you there. It's a good one. Thanks, Jonathan. And Jaden also will look after you in WA too. Awesome.
Isn't there a price that's $5.50, and if it doesn't sell, you get your money back?
Thank you. I didn't want to complicate things, but yes, we've also got a $5.50 fee for open negotiation, the auction system, whereby if it doesn't sell under the hammer or within 14 days thereafter, then you will get a full refund of your money. I didn't want to complicate it because I was talking about this free period until the end of November. I said to the end of January. But yes, you're absolutely right that there is an option by which you get a full refund. You can pay a bit more, but you get a full refund if the property does not sell as a consequence of your campaign. So thank you for whoever that was. Thank you for making it nice and easy for me to throw that one in. Awesome. Any other questions, comments? Anything stopping anyone from going to take up the offer?
Thank you.
Nice.
Yes, no, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.
And yours. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.